Hey, welcome back, and now we're going to talk about maxima and minima. So a lot of times when we're dealing with functions, we want to know where the maximum value of the function or the minimum value of the function is over a particular interval. Like, for example, there's lots of applications in physics where we want to find the maximum or minimum point, whether it's finding the maximum height of a ball that's thrown in the air, or if we're looking for a maximum profit, or maximum revenue, or minimum cost, right? So all of those deal with curves where we're interested in finding a maximum or a minimum point. So that's what we're going to start talking about, okay? So for as an example, we have f of x equal to x squared plus 1. And so what do we get? We have a parabola that is 1 unit up. That looks something like this. And we're interested in, hey, where's this minimum point? And so we look at the behavior of this. We know the minimum point right here is at 0, negative 1, or excuse me, positive 1. But how do we find that algebraically? Well, there's lots of ways. We could do it. We've done it before. You've done it in algebra, right? How do you find the minimum point? Well, you know the behavior of a parabola, right? So we know where the vertex is. So we have the vertex formula we could use, right? 2 versions of that, okay? So you've done this before, but how do we do this with more complicated functions that we don't know the behavior of, okay? And that's where calculus is going to help us, okay? Especially if we have really complicated looking functions, that it might be difficult to find the minimum maximum value over a particular interval, okay? So one of the things to recognize is what the behavior of the graph is from, notice here that the graph here and the graph here is above this point, right? And or if it's a minimum point, or it's a maximum point, it'd be all the values along an interval is going to be less than that value, right? So notice here it's the bottom point, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to start by introducing the definition of what we mean by a minimum or maximum point. And then we're going to go from there. We're going to do examples of how we're going to use calculus to help us determine where those minimum points is. Now, one of the things that we're going to use is the fact that if we take the derivative, and the derivative tells us what? Tells us the slope. Now notice that on this side, the slope of the tangent line is always what? Negative. Okay? The tangent line over on this side is always positive. But the tangent line right at this minimum point is what? 0. So that's going to be a key to helping us find maximum points and minimum points, because it's going to be at the place where the tangent line, the slope of the tangent line is 0. Okay. Now later on, you learn that there are other important points that we're going to want to be interested in, but right now we're only going to be dealing with maximum and minimum points. Okay, from there we'll start with the definitions and we'll move from there. Have a great day.